Tuesday, but you guys know I always wait a few seconds to make sure it's streaming and make sure you guys can hear me. So please confirm that. I think you can, but I think we're all good. I think I got it the way it needed to be the first time tonight, outside of the fact that I'm a little past 7:30. Forgive me for that, but I think we got it. So what's up to everybody, man? And really quick, we're gonna do of course, I'm always going to do my quick shout outs to the early viewers, those who are quick in here early. And then we will get it going. So give me 2 seconds, guys, as I just check something on my end so I can see the description. Yep, there we are. We are streaming. So what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic. Live from the Steel Basement, the self-proclaimed Steel Basement. But what's happening, everybody? Got a couple things to talk about tonight. I don't know how long we'll go. I know we will not go beyond an hour, and it, may not even get to an hour. But I'm definitely going to stick to that time frame now. I'm going to squeeze back down on that. I got a little movie date with my little one tonight, so me and the family are going to watch a little movie. But anyway. How's everybody doing, man? I hope you guys are well, definitely during the pandemic and all. I hope everybody's okay. But let me say what's up to the early viewers. What's going on in Captain Spartan, man? He commented early. He says who's ready to get Patrick Taylor in the 6th round. Got to say what's up to more AGWS, Boulevard Ware, Carlos Castillon, JJ Walker, Maurice Ware, Black Hawk, Joseph Dellavicia. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing? Who else we got in here? My good brother Kenyon in the building. Kenyon and I will probably come back Friday night. Haven't decided what I might or might not do for the draft. I'm still thinking about some things, guys. I'll get into that a little bit later in the show as far as the first round. Who else we got in here really quick? Sippy Boy 302, C. Antoine Hill. Father-in-law Leonard Langley, man, Leonard, man, miss you so much, man. You already know that. And guys, Leonard lives right back there. Like literally, I can walk to his house. And it's, social distancing and all of that. We're all trying to practice it and, practice what we preach. So it's been tough not being with Leonard on Sundays, man, chopping it up. But, I love you, Leonard. And we definitely miss you, man. Y Diggy, Lee Sharp, Epilepsy. And we'll end it with Rod Young and Ollie Howard. So how's everybody doing, man? I hope everybody is well. Like I said, during this pandemic, unfortunately, you're starting to hear, at least I am, more and more people that you kind of know that have gotten affected. And unfortunately, there's actually been some deaths, that some people my mom knows. And just wild stuff, man. But, hopefully it's starting to slow down. We see that things are starting to plateau or flatten. In places like New York, I haven't checked today, but I know that, unfortunately, the deaths, you're still going to see the deaths go up because you got to remember, these are people who've been on ventilators and people who've been sick the last week or two. So those are kind of the people that you're seeing, unfortunately, go through that process, those who are going to pass. But what you want to pay attention to is the new cases. The new cases seem to be down in most places, at least the last time I checked. And we'll see what's going to happen, man, with this temporary reopen. I don't know. I hope everything goes well, but it is what it is, guys. So let me get started. My fault, guys. I'm rambling there. And y'all got to excuse me for a moment. Y'all going to see me do something in real time. I got to brush down the mustache and the beard because obviously, as you guys can see, haven't had a haircut. And you guys, especially you men, you would know when your beard and your mustache starts to grow a lot, you start feeling it down closer into your lips so I can feel the hair. So it's kind of crazy, but I'm gonna ride it out. I might trim it a little bit, but I think I'm gonna just ride it out until I can get a haircut or what have you, and look like Grizzly Adams. I don't care. But all right, guys, what we're gonna talk about here tonight? We're first gonna address the Leonard Fournette trading possibility. I see a lot of Steelers fans asking for it. I'll give you my thoughts on that. Also want to talk about the fact, man, that the Steelers don't seem to be leaning towards quarterback in this draft. I said it last week. It could be a smoke signal. I don't know. But I'll give you my thoughts on that. Talk about Michael Pittman Jr. being mocked to the Steelers. Even in Steelers Depot's latest mock, one of the guys over there. And you guys know, I'm always promoting Steelers Depot. I think they do phenomenal work. I'm one of those people that I'm not going to just try to make you guys only be with me. You understand what I'm saying? Which I know most of you guys are looking at all kinds of Steeler things, and I appreciate you guys even rocking with me. But I'm just that type of person. I'm always going to promote somebody else or promote something that I live by faithfully. And I love Steelers Depot. I love what they do over there as a collective. I love what Alex and Dave do with the Terrible Podcast. And, guys, you may or may not always agree with some of the things they say. You guys don't always agree with me, but I think they do phenomenal work. They do it full time, so they give you the type of data that I just can't provide for you guys, right? So definitely always want to give them praise. And like I said, one of their most recent mocks, they have Michael Pittman. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as well, as we saw one of the guys, and Kenya knows who I'm talking about, kind of turn the corner when it comes to Michael Pittman over there at Steelers Depot. Also want to talk about Rob Woodson saying, man, the Steelers should not go defense at 49. Definitely want to share my thoughts on that. And then the last thing I'll talk about, man, is the players to watch. Again, I'm getting this list from Steelers Depot. These players were pretty much on the list that Kenyon and I talked about last week from Gil Brandt's list. But you definitely want to keep an eye out on Michael Pittman Jr., Antoine Winfield, Cesar Ruiz, Neville Gallimore, the D tackle, Denzel Mims, Tee Higgins, Cam Akers. Okay, these are guys that could very well fall right into the Steelers. And I'm not even going to say fall. They could very well be there when the Steelers pick, and depending on what the Steelers are feeling. If they're feeling froggy, if they want to leap offense, they will. If they want to leap defense, they will. But you definitely want to keep your eye out on those guys. And I'm hoping there's a surprise guy that I don't know about. I'm hoping for a Deontay Johnson type of guy. And maybe not on a small caliber like that, but I'm just hoping that it's somebody that we're not even talking about that makes me have to go look at their film and be like, whoa, okay, this guy's good, whatever position it is. So I can't wait to see that. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and get started because, like I said, I can't go beyond an hour tonight. So where we want to start off, I think I'm going to start with the whole Leonard Fournette. Kenyon is my witness, man. Kenyon, myself, and Tony, we text all the time, man. He texted today, or I don't know if Kenyon initiated or I initiated. I can't remember, but we all heard about, Leonard Fournette and the possibility of him wanting to be traded and things like that. And, of course, if you look on some of the forums, Steelers Nation is going crazy. And this is what I told the Kenyon. Listen, I would not be mad at that. I absolutely would not be mad at that, especially if the numbers are right. If from what they're saying, I don't know if it's true because, again, I didn't dive into this, but I think that Fournette is owed $4 million. Next year. And again, you guys got to remember, he's on his rookie contract. So I don't think he costs that much. Now, could we make it work some kind of way? I'm guessing, but I don't know what else we would have to do, cap-wise, to make it happen. So I don't know what our cap situation is when it comes to that. But listen, on the surface, and I'm going to speak surface first, and then I'll give you my negative thought. On the surface, I'll take Leonard Fournette, okay? Big body guy, big bruising type of guy, big, powerful, and fast. Do you guys remember the super long run he had against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Heinz Field? Okay, this guy is big, and he runs with that real type of demeanor. You guys remember, might have been last week. Remember how I talked about how Brandon Jacobs never lived up to the hype in terms of being as big as he was and he didn't run with authority? That ain't Leonard Fournette, right? Do y'all remember when Leonard Fournette, that game, I think he's on his rookie contract. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me on that. And forgive me for jumping off the topic for a second there. Sometimes a random thought just pops in my mind as I'm talking. But do you guys remember Mike Mitchell was still there? I think that was his rookie season. And remember Leonard Fournette got on the open field and he saw Mike Mitchell and he did it like this, like, come on, come get some. Listen, y'all know how I feel about them type of dudes. Physical guy. Runs with, like intentions. We've seen it ran against us again twice in Heinz Field. As a matter of fact, we've seen it happen. Excuse me. And not only is he big, he's fast. Fast enough to house it. I'll take that in a heartbeat. I don't think we have that back right now that I'm thinking that's going to house it. Benny Snell's ain't going to house it. James Conner is quick enough to get in open field and might house it. He might house it if he's like 30 yards away. He might get to the house from the 40 where there's not enough time for somebody to gain ground. He's not a burner by any means. We know that about all of our backs. Fournette can actually take that thing to the house. So on the surface, I wouldn't be mad at that. And again, we've always said, man, if James Conner can stay healthy, so if you got a 1-2 punch in a Conner and a Fournette, wow. And Benny Snell. Because see, if you did something like that, I know some of you guys like him. If you did something like that, Jalen Samuels might have to catch the back burner. Or he becomes the fourth running back and maybe a Karif White or somebody like that doesn't get the burn. But, wow. Can you imagine the ground and pound? The Steelers being able to ground and pound with Leonard Fournette, James Conner, and a Benny Snell. Right? Now, here's the negative. Let's not forget, Leonard Fournette has been out with injury as well. I read today that Leonard Fournette has actually missed one more game than James Conner in their careers. That changes things a little bit, right? And the reason why I say that is, again, because some of you guys who may feel, yes, let's go after him, you got to think about that. What about the injury? The injury history is there. Same thing we say about James Conner, right? I'm just saying. So it's one of those situations where it's not a clear cut, to me, it's not a clear cut decision like, yeah, grab him and let him be the starter. I mean, because we're going to be dealing with probably the same situation as far as possible injuries. So that's just how I feel. Now, if you want to take the chance and say, look, we got two guys that if we can kind of keep both of them healthy, if we can, do the running back by committee type of thing, great. That would be quite the combination. I'm not saying I would love it like I'm pounding the table for it, but that'd be quite the competition, quite the combination. I would love to, kind of see that in theory. Fournette type and a Conner that is, bringing that quick effect to it, even though he's not fast. Y'all know what I'm saying. Conner is a no-nonsense type of runner. Boom, hits the hole, and he gets there. And then you've also got Benny Snell. Could be something to look at, but I don't know. We shall see. And yeah, as I look over here at Sonny Rothmiller, I agree with that. I like Benny Snell as well. And again, not necessarily do I think the trade value get Fournette in that regard. Like, I don't know if you trade for him. I mean, maybe if he got cut. But if they did, I wouldn't be mad, because maybe they see something that we don't in terms of how they really feel about the running back. So those are just my thoughts on that. Moving on to the next topic, guys, I want to talk a little bit about, we're going to hold this quarterback conversation for the last part of the show. I want to talk about, man, Rod Woodson saying that the Steelers basically would be dumb if they took a defensive player at 49. And you know what? Depending on what defensive player is there, I may be inclined to agree. You got to think about it. At 49, we're probably going to be in a position where we get bigger playmakers or bigger talent, projected talent on offense, unless a guy like Antoine Winfield is there. A position like safety, and if it is Winfield, yeah, you're going to find a way for him to play this year because we've done the 3 safety look, right? So there's an opportunity for him to play this year. He can add into the mix. I wouldn't be mad at that pick. But if you're talking about an edge rusher, I don't know who's projected, in the top 50 that might not already be gone, that I would say we must have this guy, right? If you talk about, let me think, what other position? Cornerback, which definitely we ain't going that high with cornerback, right? Inside linebacker, outside of the known guys that we know ain't going to be there, the Queens and why can't I call this kid's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Isaiah Simmons, those type of guys. They ain't going to probably be there at 49. Excuse me. So you got to ask yourself, what position on defense are you feeling comfortable with at 49. And again, guys, I always have to say this. It's projected talent. We don't know. We never know if the 6th-round draft pick is going to go on and catch the most receptions and still a history, or the 6th-round draft pick is going to be touted as the greatest quarterback of all times. Yeah, we've seen this happen. We never know. Or you never know if it's going to be a Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. You never know. So it's not always about where you pick, but all we can go off is projections right now. That's all any of us can go off. None of us, I don't think any of us can sit here and say, this guy right here, I'm telling you, we're going to get him in the 7th round. He's going to be the greatest of all time. So I'm only going off of projections. That's what the scouts do. That's what the NFL personnel does. So I'm saying projections. Who else is there in the top 50 that you would prefer to take defensively over some of the guys who are projected to be there offensively? Let me look in the chat real quick because I want to see what you guys have to say. Let me see. Wayman Johnson says Woodson is right. A DB won't get in the field with this secondary. Yeah, safety would though. A safety would. Winfield would see playing time. I mean, he's not going to start, but he would see playing time. Somebody said the Giants are sending their pick to who? Say what? What did y'all say? The Giants did what? Giants are sending the number 4 pick to the Steelers. Come on, guys. Y'all know we're doing this live. Y'all got to give me some confirmation. Is that what I'm reading? Is that what you guys are saying? Excuse me. Okay, somebody's trolling. All right. Why do that right now? I mean, come on, man. I mean, I know it's always trollers. Come on, stop. We trying to have a real conversation here. But anyway, yeah, so what do y'all think? And it looks like you guys pretty much agree. There's really not a defensive player, right? So it's probably going to be a Pittman or a Mims if he's there, or Tee Higgins. I mean, it's going to be one of these guys, I think. And even from the list that we read from last week. Excuse me, guys. You know, allergies, man, getting to me. But yeah, so I'm inclined to agree with Woodson on that. I don't necessarily say go defensively unless it's a guy like Winfield that, yeah, we need that depth at safety, and we need a guy, if we're going to pick him on defense at 49 as being your quote-unquote first pick. You know, I'd rather get a guy that's going to get on the field if it's defensively, right? Offensively, you can argue that guy might see the field, whoever it is. If it's a running back, he has a chance to see the field. You know, maybe he doesn't start, but he has a chance. A wide receiver, he has a chance. Okay, we like our receivers, but after we get to like number 4, who's there, right? Anybody that we draft can compete for the number 4th spot. I said number 4th. The 4th spot he can compete for. Any receiver that we draft, right? Because we're talking about Juju, Washington, Deontay Johnson. And let's be honest, some of you guys don't like those 3. There's one of those guys that y'all don't necessarily like. So I think we all can agree a wide receiver has a chance to play. So that's how I feel about that. The next thing. Well, the only other thing I will comment on, man, y'all see Gronkowski got traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be with old Tom Brady. Woo! Woo! Now listen, I don't know what Gronk is. I don't know if Gronk is still or will be what he was. But I'm just imagining him just being 60-70% of what he was with O.J. Howard, Mike Evans, Tom Brady. And I'm sure there's other pieces I'm forgetting about on that offense and that defense that they have. Could be interesting, man. Now, again, they got the Saints. You know, they got Drew Brees they're going to have to battle with. But I'm saying, That could be interesting. And again, whether you hate or love Tom Brady or Gronkowski because they were Patriots, come on, let's talk football for a moment. If Tom Brady is able to be 70% Tom Brady, do just enough, game manage, right? Put his greatness mentally on display, and Gronkowski is able to give him something, they're going to be formidable. No question about it. Because again, you're looking at a team that had a quarterback who threw 33 touchdowns, over 5,000 yards. Had he not thrown those 30 interceptions, who knows what the Bucs would have been able to do. So you bring a more cerebral guy in there, Tom Brady with all the veteran knowledge, and they might be something, man. And, I think that's kind of cool, man, for Grump to come back and play with his boy one more time or two. We shall see. They're in the NFC, so I'm not even really tripping, but that's cool. That's cool. So, all right, man, let's talk about the news that we heard today. I don't see any of you guys in the queue. Y'all can let me know, man, if you want to call in. The numbers on the screen. If it works, great. If y'all can't hear me, we can do our workaround. But if you want to call and you want to give your thoughts really quick, area 619-924-0818. And again, I'm still in the process of looking for more software. I just haven't dove deep into it, but somebody did give me an idea. So I'm going to look into another program to see if we may be able to at least have that, when the season gets in the thick of things. I might want to have a different presentation because Blog Talk is getting on my nerves. But anyway, it seems like Kevin Colbert and Mike Tomlin made it pretty clear that they're not looking for a quarterback, right? 1 second. Stay hydrated, folks. And not only did they say that in the press conference earlier today, if you guys didn't see it, this is kind of what they've been preaching, man, pretty much the whole offseason. Now, let's play devil's advocate, right? Are they going to come out and say, yeah, we're looking for a quarterback? No, they're not going to do that. Are they going to come out and just say they don't like what they currently have? No, they're not going to say that. But if you've been watching the Steelers and you've been following the Steelers for a long time, you kind of understand how they work. You understand the body language, and you can read between the lines with both Colbert and Tomlin, right? Not only is Colbert saying, we're pretty satisfied, but he keeps talking about what they believe Ben Roethlisberger is going to be. Keeps talking about that. Remember him saying that we think he's even going to be a better Ben Roethlisberger than we've ever had. So that tells me two things. Number one, of course, their main concern is number 7 playing behind center. And they're comfortable with him as long as he's playing. Number 2, it also tells me that they want to do everything they can in these last 2 years to give us the best chance to get to the title. Remember when Roethlisberger was upset, verbally upset when Mason Rudolph got drafted? I just don't think that's going to happen again right now when Ben is, the word is he's hungry, he's ready to come back. I just kind of feel like they're not going to do that. And like I said, they keep saying it. They keep saying that they're happy with Mason Rudolph. Yes, folks. Yes, that's what he keeps saying. And again, I know all of us are scouts and GMs and head coaches and all of that from the couch. We all think we could do a better job, but sometimes, guys, you just have to let the team do what they're going to do. We can disagree with them, excuse me, but we got to let the team do what they do. Okay, I mean, we can cuss and fight and spit and whatever you want to do. It ain't going to matter. The Steelers are going to do whatever they have planned to do. And it's very clear to me that it looks like they're going to rock with Mason Rudolph. Now, does that mean they won't take a quarterback later? No, it doesn't mean that. But I think it absolutely means that they're not taking a quarterback at 49. I think that's really what they're trying to let people know is this is not going to be our main target. And I saw somebody in the chat earlier, I don't know who said it. And again, it's not my point or my business to question somebody's opinion, but I always see people say Ben sucks and he's listen, whatever opinion you have about Ben Roethlisberger, the last time you saw Ben Roethlisberger play in a full season, you can't say he sucks. My biggest criticism of Ben Roethlisberger that last season, of course, not this past one, but the one before that, 2018, I didn't like his 16 interceptions. I wish Ben could limit his interceptions. I wish he could be more of a under 10 interception type of quarterback. But Ben Roethlisberger threw for over 5,000 yards. And if I'm not mistaken, set his own personal records. What are y'all talking about that saying that man sucks? Now, is he what he once was? Maybe not. But how long has he played? And so I'm saying give him some respect. Okay? Give him some respect. Say, okay, he's not what he once was. He's over the hill. I get all of that. But I just don't understand the whole Ben sucks situation. Does he make bad decisions at times? Yes, he does. But come on, man. Don't act like we haven't won with Ben Roethlisberger. And have we won a championship in the last 6 years? No, we haven't. But that ain't all on Ben Roethlisberger. So that's all. That's just my opinion. You know, you're welcome to have yours. But those are just my 2 cents, guys. I don't think the Steelers are going to go quarterback, man. I once thought they would. You know, last week we talked about maybe Jalen Hurts. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Y'all know how I do, man. I just try to give us a platform where we can talk. Didn't really think they would draft Jalen Hurts at 49, but I wanted to entertain the idea. I kept seeing it out there, so we all discussed it. So there you have it. But all right, guys, I do see we have a few calls in the queue. Apparently the queue is working, so we're going to give it a try. And like I said, man, who's old dog talking to, man? Y'all see his comment there? Come on, man, keep it clean, even though that's the clean way of saying it, man. Don't do that. He talking to Kenyon. I don't know if him and Kenyon are having a joke session or not, but don't. Oh, wow, well, there it is. There he is. He put the real word out there. All right, man, I'm going to give you one more opportunity. Chill with the language. You know, let's keep this more a family affair, man. Guys can have you can have an opinion, but come on. You're talking to an internet person, even though I know Kenyon is a real person. I'm just saying. You're arguing with somebody over the internet. There's no need for all of that, fam. There's no need for all of that type of language. And how could he piss you off that much? You understand what I'm saying? Let's keep it clean here. And if you don't, I'm gonna be forced to just block you because we don't need to have that over here. But let's get to the calls, man. And y'all do me a favor like y'all always do. Y'all pretty good with the time. Keep it short for me. Make your points, and I'll keep my responses short. So first up, we are going to bring in area code 803. What's going on tonight?
Everything going pretty good, brother. How's everything going? I hope you guys, you and Kenyon had a good birthday.
Yeah, man, we did. I appreciate that.
I know y'all did it up. You were talking about the Fournette possible trade and already having Connor and put my man the hater on the other show call him Betty No Jet. I'm afraid we'll be getting 3 of the same running backs, and that's something we really don't need. If a J.K. Dobbins or a Cam Akers can bring us something a little different, because right now I just can't see our offensive line being that type of offensive line that brings that back. We're going to have to make some moves in that offensive line to change my mind otherwise. Other than that, I think we do need to pick at 49 an offensive player, and I would hope it would be a J.K. Dobbins, or we can move up in the 3rd round and get a Cam Akers. We desperately, I feel, in my opinion, we need a pick in that top 100 in the 3rd round. Okay, but thank you so much, and waiting for the draft.
Absolutely, man. Always thank you to you as well, man. Always coming through, man. My man seems to always be like the first caller, so we're gonna give a shout out. I believe that Jason, is the name, the match area code 803. But definitely thanks for calling. And my fault on that, guys. I had to turn his volume up towards the end. I had to turn the desktop volume up, so that's my bad. But what he was basically saying, man, is he desperately wished we had another pick within the top 100, and he says that he probably wouldn't prefer to have Fournette at that, because it'd kind of be like 3 similar running backs. And, I can see his point. Even though I said that Fournette is faster, it's still the same style for the most part. Because even though James Conner, he technically is a bigger back. He's not a giant guy, but he's a thick guy. He's not a small dude. Him and Fournette probably run with the same demeanor. Benny Snell has the same demeanor, even though it's funny because Benny Snell got kind of like a baby face. Like, to look at him, you wouldn't even think he was aggressive, if that makes sense. But he looking to run you over. You know what I mean? Talking trash in the whole nine when he out there. So I agree with 803. It is kind of similar to the same back. So yeah, I would be for it. If we were going to be a ground and pound team and they decide they want to do that, I will back it. But am I lorning for it? No. I would rather see a change of pace type of back, which is why I like the addition of Kareth White. The little bit he showed us last year with that quickness, has some vision to him as well and some speed. But we shall see. We shall see. And Frank V says Fournette is on a different level. Come on, man. Frank, I know what you're saying, and I think you're kind of going down the line that I was going in. But in theory, they are similar style backs. I think that's what 803 is saying. And, if you disagree with that, then fine. We can all disagree. But I'm saying I think he's talking about style, not saying that Fournette isn't better than him or Connor isn't better than him. I think he's just talking about the mold that they're cut from. They're kind of similar. That's what he's saying. All right. Let's take a look here. Next one, area code 678. What's going on tonight?
Thank you for taking my call, Sam.
Yeah, no problem. You. Yeah, man.
All right. Quick questions. Two of them. Leonard Fournette or Shady McCoy? And then also, backup quarterback, Sim. I see that we signed J.T. Barrett. I'm not quite sure by the play that was on the field last year if Tomlin's really saying that Mason is the backup. I don't think they have a backup per se yet. But with that being said, let me get to the point. Who do you feel as though, or with J.T. Barrett being there, do you feel as though that could be like the Jalen Hurts that people were wanting to get? Could he be like Jalen Hurts, J.T. Barrett, that is? And could he move up to challenge Mason Rudolph since, Steeler Nation seen last year, the backup quarterback, per se, both of them really didn't perform well at all. Those are my two questions. Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate the call, and I will definitely answer the questions really quick. J.T. Barrett. The thing is, I'm just going to give it an overall yes. If he can be what we saw him be at Ohio State. I don't know if it's a direct comparison, but different style type of quarterback that has a little mobility like a Jalen Hurts, I could see that parallel. Maybe he could be that. My only concern with Barrett, though, is he's bounced around a little bit. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you guys correct me in the chat. I think he at the Jets. No, excuse me, not the Jets. The Saints. I can't remember. But if he was at the Saints, I think for some reason I'm thinking Saints, and I understand why we didn't see much of him. I didn't see much of him in preseason, with whatever team he was with. So I don't know what J.T. Barrett is right now. But if I'm just judging off of what I saw him do at Ohio State, then yeah, I think it's a decent comparison to say he could be the Jalen Hurts type of guy. It's slipping my mind what the other question was, so I'm going to pause for a moment before I grab the next call. If somebody in the chat can tell me what his other question was, or even if you're still listening, what was the other question? What part did I miss, guys? Because I know he asked two questions there. And for whatever reason, J.T. Barrett is the only thing sticking out in my mind. Wait a few seconds here. Thaddeus Kennedy says JT Barrett lacks accuracy and arm strength. Somebody said TD Barrett. Does he look like you? Okay, I don't know what you're talking about there. Oh, Fournette and McCoy. Appreciate that, Why Dicky. See, you guys listen better than I do. That's why I love y'all, man. I would have to say Fournette. Only because, McCoy, I'm not going to say he's washed, but yeah. I think you're going to get better production out of a Fournette if we went that route. I think McCoy's best, well, not even that I think. McCoy's best days are probably past him, and if you want to use him as a change of pace type of guy, maybe. But if you kind of look at how Kansas City used him, he didn't get a lot of burn out there. It's just, I think that ship has sailed. And listen, I've always liked Shady McCoy. I loved Shady McCoy's shiftiness. Like, think of the early days. That was one of the things that caught my eye with him from early. Shifty. Like, he will shake you out your boots. Quick story real quick, man. I know you guys don't mind my quick stories about Shady McCoy that I'll share with you guys. He's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, right? I don't live too far from Harrisburg. So one time, my wife and I, and this was in the off season, we went to Benihana's. Some of you guys may or may not know what that is, but it's basically a well-known hibachi spot. It's no longer in Harrisburg, but when it was, we went there. And lo and behold, man, right there in the back room, like a little bit off from our table, Shady McCoy. A couple other guys, and he had his little mans with him. His little son probably was like 2 or 3 at that time. And I was a little disappointed, man, because, I've been a big fan of his, and, I was going to maybe just say, hey, how you doing, man? You do your thing, da-da-da-da. I don't fan out and stuff like that. If you guys knew my past, I'd have been around celebrities, and especially when we was doing the music thing, like, I don't never do that. Like, I would have just been like, hey, you do your thing, one of those. I won't go get him a handshake, none of that. But he turned me off, man, because he was acting so belligerent. And for me to pull out a word like belligerent, y'all already know. Listen, I'm not a saint, right? I'm more calm now than I was in my youth, but I didn't grow up a square. You know what I'm saying? So certain things don't faze me. But fam, this dude was acting. Yeah, I can't even begin to explain it to you guys. And then to have his son with him. Like, I'll give y'all an example. Him and his boys talking super loud about the chicks they smashed and all. And they didn't use smash now. They didn't even use the clean version. It was embarrassing a little bit. And I'm looking at him, and I'm kind of like, homie, come on. Like, you still act like that? You know what I mean? Like, you got millions. Like, you still act like that. It was embarrassing. So I kind of lost a little respect for the person that he is. But again, I don't know him, so I'm not. I'm not a judging person either. I can only judge you off of what you show me. Just kind of turned me off from him, man. From that point, not saying I wouldn't take the dude as a football player, but if you guys would have seen it, man, you guys would have. Yeah. It was bad. But anyway, I always like to share little things with y'all when I can. Next caller, man. I think we lost the caller that was after 651. I apologize for that. But next caller we'll bring in right now is area code 412. What you got for us tonight?
Hey, Sim. This is Patrick. How you doing, sir?
Good. What's going on, Patrick?
How you doing? I can't complain. I had a comment and 2 questions. Comment is on who I think the Steelers would, or direction I think the Steelers go with 49th. I like safety with Antoine Winfield. He checks all the boxes. I feel like and correct me if I'm wrong, I think when Tomlin loves familiarity, and I do believe when he was at Minnesota as a defensive coordinator, wasn't Antoine Winfield's dad playing for the Vikings at the time when he was a DC?
I'm not sure if the years line up, but definitely that might have happened because, of course, we know he played for Minnesota and we know Tomlin was there for a second. But I'm not 100% sure if he was there at the same time. But either way,
yeah,
it's been said that Tomlin knows Antoine Winfield, so the whole bloodline thing still applies.
Yeah, and you know the Steelers love players with great bloodlines. With especially, it's been a trend on defense with TJ and Cam and Devin, and it would be the same with Antoine Winfield if we went in that direction. My two questions are, if we did go in that direction, how would Terrell Edmonds play a role as the hybrid type position where Barron was when he was here? Because I feel like if that were to happen, I feel like he would benefit and actually bring a lot if he were to be moved into like the inside linebacker role. And question number two is, a name I've been hearing a lot when it comes to the Steelers is Tanner Muse out of Clemson.
Yep.
Now, I know the Steelers are very high on him. So if we were to draft him at maybe number 2 with the 49th pick or in the 3rd, would that be considered a reach? Thanks for taking my call, Sam.
Man, you're welcome, man. Thanks for calling. That was some good points there, and I would definitely hit them really, really quick. And after that, we'll probably wrap up with one last call, area code 632. So only one more call tonight. It's funny, man, that you asked that question because I want to say 2 weeks ago, I gave my quick synopsis on those two safeties. So I'll say that first, and then I'll kind of tackle the points. I think if the Steelers go safety early, meaning 49, it would be Winfield. If the Steelers want to go safety / utility player later, it would be Tanner Muse. 4th round, something like that. I don't want to say it's a reach if they take him earlier than that. I mean, if they like him, great. My assessment of him, I don't think he is the pure athlete that Winfield is, but he's a baller. Like Tanner Muse, to me, I watched 3 games of his. Very consistent. You know, he's going to be around the ball. But playmaker doesn't scream. You know, it doesn't scream playmaker to me when I see him. Winfield is a playmaker to me. You know, more naturally talented, more of a ball hawk. Whereas, again, like I said, Muse is a you know, he's a gifted utility player. Like, he's the type of dude, if you got him lurking in the box, yeah. And he's going to thump you. You know what I mean? So, it might be a reach, depending on who else is there, right? So, it depends on who else is right there at 49 and they take him, is whether or not I would consider it a reach. But initially, I mean, if you like him that much, hey, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But I think that Winfield, from the film I've seen, again, guys, I usually just watch 3 full games of these players when I scout them, and I watch their highlights to see if it matches up. I think Winfield is an overall better safety. He's more of a ball skill guy. The other point you made, I want everybody to be prepared for this. If we draft Winfield, Terrell Edmonds is still your starter, okay? They're going to go into camp that way. They're going to probably go into the season like that. If we're in a base situation, Terrell Edmonds is going to be the starter. Where I see Winfield playing early this year is if we go 3 safeties like we did last year, okay? And what you might want to do is you rotate Edmonds up. Let Edmonds be what we wanted Barnett to be, Morgan Burnett. You let Edmonds be that. Let him be somewhat the dime backer, play around the box, because I like Edmonds' improvement last year. Yes, his improvement last year with pass breakups, being close to the ball, making tackles. Had some bad moments, yeah. A lot of the players do. But I think he improved in that area. Ball skills, not so much. So I foresee a situation where when you run 3 safeties, you would have Winfield playing deep along with Minka. Or you get creative, let Winfield play deep and bring Minka into the box. So you could get very creative that way if you were to draft Winfield. But Terrell Edmonds would still be your starter, folks, a strong safety. I'm just here to tell you. Because Minka is definitely not moving out of free safety. So, but all right, man, we'll take one more call here, man. Area code 732. What you got for us tonight?
Hey, Sim, what's up? Lance and Shield, man.
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I don't know if y'all talked about it already, but I was listening to Alex Cesar and all that, and it was saying like he could trade back to get 3 picks from the Patriots. You think that's a good deal? 3 more?
Yeah, it depends on where they are. Yeah. If we could get them in the 3rd and relatively early, I don't think that's bad. Because I think that gives us more. It gives us more picks, at least within that top 100. Because 49, man, I think a lot of the guys that we all have talked about tonight, they're probably going to still be around the 3rd round, possibly. Maybe not Winfield, but some of these receivers, I wouldn't mind that at all, man. I mean, unless the guy at 49, unless they got their eyes set on somebody that they know they can get at 49, they stay put. But I wouldn't be opposed to a trade.
Yeah, that's good, man. I hope at least we get something good out of this time. All right, man. That's all I got.
All right, Lance and Shield, appreciate the call, man. Definitely appreciate that. And like I said, guys, we're going to go ahead and shut the call queue down for tonight because this will guarantee that I don't go beyond my hour. So I'm going to jump in the chat session a little earlier with you guys. But how do y'all feel about that, man? As we go to the chat, how do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about the Steelers trading down and gathering a few more picks? Or should they stay, steadfast right there at 49? Also, I hear that the 49ers has the possibility is open to trade their first-round picks as they only have pretty much those picks, they don't have a second through a fourth. Do y'all think it's a player that the Steelers would go up and trade into the first round to get? So it's a lot of interesting scenarios out there, man. But Frank V says he doesn't think Pittman will be there at 49. You never know, man. These things shake funny, man. The draft shakes out really funny. Real Fact says it's a quality receiver group, so I think we don't need to strike early. I agree with that. Captain Spartan says, I know Patrick Covington Sr. That's why I was high on him before the season began. I truly believe if we have our 4th first-round pick, he would be the pick. He was that T.J. Watt vibe to him. Let me see who y'all talk about. And hello, Mr. Patrick Sr., because you said senior. So if Mr. Covington is in here, I want to say hello to him as well. But who are you guys talking about? And I did see you guys say that Tomlin and Winfield were there together. Winfield, senior. Oh, wait a minute. That might be who you're talking about. I don't know. So maybe I'm reading it wrong. But, yeah. If Patrick Covington Sr. is in here, I want to say hello to him. But you might be answering the question and you're saying that Senior might be talking about Winfield. I don't know. But, yeah, you guys did say that they were there in Minnesota at the same time. Cesar Diaz says, my wish, I knew what happened, is if Love falls out the late 20s into the first round, trade up for him with the 49ers or Seahawks to grab Love. Eventually, we need a future quarterback to groom once Ben is done. Now, and let me say this too, guys, before people get the wrong idea about my assessment. I'm not opposed to the Steelers drafting a quarterback if they feel they need to get one right now. I just don't think that they will, especially not doing that type of maneuvering. I don't think that they are high at all on the quarterback. Even if you believe what Colbert and everyone is saying, I don't think this is the year. I think if anything, they start their preparation next year. The most likely scenario is that they stay put this year. Give Mason Rudolph another year to get groomed and maybe develop in preseason. Such if the games are going to be played, it seems like we're going to have 5 because we're playing in the Hall of Fame game. Allow Mason Rudolph to develop. Let Ben get this year out. And then going into Ben's last year, you look for the heir apparent. If you don't think Rudolph is it. Again, if they don't think, not us. I know it's easy for us fans to say that. We're not the Steelers, guys. We're not the organization. So I think if anything, they do it next year. I don't foresee them making moves to get one of the top or the guys who are touted as one of the top quarterbacks. I don't think that happens this year. Just my thoughts, man. Just my thoughts. Jordan Mid says, if you say he's not Le'Veon Bell, no one is Bell, and he wasn't a superstar his rookie year. It took time to make him a great running back. Okay, Jordan must be responding to somebody. So I'm not sure who you're responding to. Sippy Boy says, there are a lot of good receivers this year. We may end up waiting until the 3rd. Possible. See, and that's the thing. I don't think we got to strike. We don't have to strike extremely early. And I think Ralph Fax said that as well. We don't have to strike extremely early. However, let's not forget, guys, I still believe at the 49th pick will be best available. Any position is on the table. Even as much as I'm criticizing the quarterback thing, any position is on the table. Whoever is the highest on the board, I think, is who they pick at 49. I'm leaning towards offensive player. But, again, if a guy like Winfield is sitting there, or, apparently, I know the Raiders have interest, but apparently they're saying that Delpit may drop. If a guy like Delpit is sitting there, guys like that the Steelers could have on their board, him and Winfield. So if one of those dudes is there, they might go defensive. But I think it's going to be an offensive player, and my gut feeling is telling me it's going to more than likely be receiver or offensive lineman. We shall see. Demero Dixon says, Van Jefferson is an excellent route runner who was underrated and also has bloodlines in the game like Pittman. Yeah, let's pay attention to that too really quick. And I see you, Roughhouse. I'll get your comment in a second. The bloodline comment that Patrick Covington made and a few of you other guys have made in the comments, and Kenyon and I said it last week. Here's the thing to pay attention to. We know the Steelers like that. We know Tomlin likes bloodlines. Think about it. Edmonds. See what I'm saying? That's another reason that helped Edmonds get picked. He knows the Pittman family. He knows the Winfield family. But what you also should pay attention to is Kevin Colbert said today, what pro day did they say they were able to go to before the shutdown? You guys remember that? Clemson. Now, just like Bloodlines, they also are an organization that go with who they know more than anybody else. It's said that they met with Clemson players, Tanner Muse being one of them. Do not be surprised if Tanner Muse ends up on the roster. I'm not saying at 49. I prefer to get him later because I think he'll be there. But we got to keep our eyes on little things like that, the process. This whole process, man, with the shutdown and the pandemic has completely uprooted and derailed the way the Steelers do business. And I'm sure other teams do it similar. But we all know how the Steelers do their thing. They pride themselves on meetings. They pride themselves on pro days. The whole, the checking the boxes and how we can say, oh, it's going to be a top 5 power conference and it's going to be a Sparky guy. And all of that kind of out the window. It's some dudes who didn't get tested as far as their 40 times and things like that, if they weren't at the combine. A lot of times the pro day is where you get that information. So this is going to be a very interesting draft, man, needless to say, even without having that first rounder. Roughhouse says, I don't see the Steelers trading up into the first round for a player, as they would have to trade away next year's first and one of this year's picks too. Yeah, I agree with you on that. You know, I'm just trying to throw out all of the scenarios, but yeah, I don't see the Steelers making no moves like that. I mean, who is it? You know, who is the guy that you would go up to get? You know what I mean? Let's see what else you got. I know you guys have been commenting, man. I've skipped over quite a few here. Did I watch tape on Matt Pert? No, I did not. But you know what? I will do it tonight. Let me write his name down. I will do it tonight. Matt Pert out of UConn. All right. So you have my word. I will take a look at that after movie night with the family. Got about 3 more minutes, guys, then we're going to be up out of here. Let's see what else. I try to grab names that I don't see often. General Grievous 2005 says, so who do you think they will pick out of running back, wide receiver, lineman, or free safety? And thank you to Mariano Pampa with the donation, man. I thoroughly appreciate that, man. You guys were donating heavy last week, adding to my birthday. I appreciate you guys for that. I'm going to say, I gotta say wide receiver or lineman at the moment. Safety and running back being second. It's just how I feel. Now, again, that's not saying who I want. I'm just trying to get into the mind of the Steelers. Wide receiver, if I'm thinking they're going to go offense, I'm thinking it's going to be wide receiver, obviously. So it's either going to be a receiver, would be A. Offensive lineman would be B in terms of an offensive player. And then after that, I think if a guy like Winfield is there, they'll grab him. I think running back is probably not going to be at 49. I don't think Steelers are going to go that route. But hey, I'm open to being surprised, man. That's why it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And let me say this real quick since we have about 2 minutes left. Let me go ahead and close out the phone queue. So 732, I see you still listening. I'm going to go ahead and shut the phone queue down so you can still listen via computer. Thank you for your call as well. But let me say this, guys. I'm definitely going to do some draft coverage. I think what I'm probably going to do, Thursday night is when I normally do my other podcast with my partner Smitty and my boy Azur. You know, that's more of a gaming thing. We talk about Madden and stuff like that. What we'll basically be talking about is how Madden is doing the virtual presentation for the draft. And y'all know the feedback I've always give to that game. It could be so much better than it is. It just, the game pains me at times. Don't even get me started. But after that, I think I might jump on and do maybe another partial stream. I'm gonna say maybe because again, got to spend some time with family, man. So we'll see. Because my other podcast is 8 to 10, but we'll see. I might get on and just do a mini draft, maybe a preview based off of who's already been picked by that time and who gets picked in the first round. Maybe do a little preview and say, all right, guys, so we know who's off the board. Who do we think now will be picked tomorrow? And then I'm definitely going to do draft coverage on Friday night, all right, for the second and third round. So I'm definitely going to do that. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to do the stream during the draft or if I'm going to wait until we make our pick. Haven't quite decided that yet, but if my gut is telling me that you guys would probably want me to do a live stream during the draft, so we'll see. But that's what my plans are right now. Stay tuned for Thursday. We'll see if I do something Thursday. I just can't commit to that yet. But outside of that, man, let me see. What else you guys got? I'll see maybe one or two more of these. Darius Deal says, hey, Sim, look up Kendrick Rogers from Texas A&M, 6'5", wide receiver, highly underrated. He could go 6th or 7th round. Let me write that name down, man, just so I can remember. Kendrick Rogers out of Texas A&M, 6'5". Ooh, big boy. I want a big receiver, man. We ain't had one in a while. We haven't had one in a while that was effective. I do agree with Sippy Boy, man. Pittman might not be as high as how we like him. He might not be as valued with all of these other receivers, man. You know, think about it. In today's NFL, you can see a Tee Higgins going before Pittman because of how he's utilized, right? I'm not saying he's better, but I'm just talking about the teams that just want to air it out. I can see Tee Higgins because, I mean, every play you watch, this dude is catching it down the seam or outside the numbers. I can see his value being higher, quote unquote, than a Pittman, which could allow Pittman to fall right to the Steelers at 102. Simo Alawakir out of TCU. And I know Kenyon is paying attention to these names too. Y'all know Kenyon is the resident scout. You know, I'm good with the film work, but Kenyon is good with both film work and knowing these people. So he probably knows some of these guys already. All right, man. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, guys. That's my time, man. My hour is up. It's family time now, so I have to go. I appreciate you guys for coming out tonight. Great viewership, man. I see we were averaging about 150 live viewers, which usually means that the show is going to do well. So I appreciate you guys for coming out. A couple quick things before I go. If you guys would like to donate, it's probably a little too late to donate here in YouTube unless you do it in the next minute or so. But if you want to do so like Mariano Pampa did, and others last week, there's a $ at the bottom of the chat. Click on that and you can donate. Always appreciate it. But if you prefer to do it outside, I do have Cash App. I have PayPal. I have not set up Patreon yet. Someone told me I needed to do that, so let me stop dragging my feet. But either way, good amount of you guys donate that way as well. So I always want to say thank you to you all. You know who you are. But that information is available as well if you prefer to do it outside of YouTube. But outside of that, man, the only thing I really ask for, don't ask for a donation. That's up to you. But what I ask for, what I know you can do, hit the like button right here, man. Right there. See that? Thumbs up, subscribe, cut on your notification. That's easy. And most of you guys are subscribed. So all I need you to do is hit the like button. That's it. Y'all have no idea how it tremendously helps. Help, please help me. Hit the like button. You can at least do that. And other than that, man, the only last thing I want to say is, guys, continue to be healthy. Continue to stay safe. Shout outs to Official, man. I appreciate the donation right there. See, guys, see how easy it is? No, I'm just fooling around, man. Again, it's always optional, but thanks to my man Official there, man. He's always viewing. Yeah, definitely a valuable, loyal viewer there. But guys, be safe, man. Continue to be safe. Social distance, don't be crazy with it. It seems like this thing is starting to turn the corner, but we got to be responsible and help it do so. So please stay healthy, be safe, be responsible, and I'll definitely catch you guys soon. Maybe Thursday night, but of course on Friday for the draft in the second round. But all right, that's going to do it. That's my time. Be good, be safe, God bless, and thank you for tuning in to Turbo Towel Tuesday. Peace.